Welcome. We're going to break down the practical scope of the Pressure Equipment Directive, or as you know it, the PED. This is designed for technical professionals like you who need clear, direct answers without the fluff. So let's get right to the big question. Does the Pressure Equipment Directive actually apply to your equipment? We're going to get you that answer in the next 5 minutes. First up, what exactly is it? Well, the PED is a European Union law. Its whole purpose is to create one single set of rules for designing and making pressure equipment. This ensures everything is safe and can move freely across the EU market. Simple as that. Okay, this number is the key. This is your primary entry gate for the directive. The rule's pretty straightforward. If the maximum allowable pressure is greater than 0.5 bar, then the PED might apply. This is always your first check. So, why does this matter? Because we have to use the right terminology. The directive is very specific about using the maximum allowable pressure, or PAS. This isn't just any pressure. It's the maximum pressure the gear is designed for, straight from the manufacturer. Everything else is based on this number. So, let's say your equipment is over 0.5 bar. Does that automatically mean you're in? Not always. Hitting that pressure threshold is just step one. You see, the directive has some major exclusions we need to talk about. And here's how you check for those exclusions. The directive explicitly lists certain types of equipment that are out of scope, even if they operate way above 0.5 bar. We're talking about things like pipelines for conveyance, so pipes used for transport, water supply networks, simple pressure vessels, aerosol cans, and even radiators in your heating system. This really helps to see the difference in the real world. Think about a standard compressed air receiver. It's a stationary vessel designed to hold pressure. That's in scope. But the pipeline that feeds it, that's a system for conveyance, and it's typically excluded. Okay, so we've covered what's in and what's out. But what about that gray area? You know, the equipment that operates above 0.5 bar but is still below the thresholds that require a CE mark. This is where a really key concept comes in: sound engineering practice, or SEP. It means that even this lower-risk equipment has to be designed and built safely, following the established engineering practices of an EU member state. Now, here's the crucial point, and honestly, it's a very common mistake. Equipment that only falls under sound engineering practice must not have a CE mark applied under the Pressure Equipment Directive. They are completely separate categories. All right, let's do a quick knowledge check to make sure all of this is sinking in. First question for you. What's that minimum maximum allowable pressure, the PSE, that gets the whole PED conversation started? Okay, second question. Imagine a long-distance natural gas pipeline designed for 70 bar. Does the PED apply to the pipeline itself? And for the final question, you've got a small vessel, and it's designed according to sound engineering practice. Should it have a CE mark under the PED? The answer to question 1 is, of course, greater than 0.5 bar. That's the main trigger for the entire directive. For question 2, the answer is no. Remember, pipelines used for conveyance are one of those specific exclusions listed right there in Article 1. And for our last question, the answer is a definite no. Just to hammer it home, equipment that's classified as SEP must be safe, but it must not get a CE mark under the PED. So let's just quickly summarize the key takeaways. First, it all starts with a maximum allowable pressure over 0.5 bar. Second, always check the list of exclusions in Article 1. And third, if equipment only qualifies for sound engineering practice, it must not get a CE mark. And just a quick note before we finish, this is all for informational purposes. It's not legal advice. You should always consult the full text of the directive and talk to qualified professionals for your specific situation. To keep learning more about practical compliance and safety, make sure you subscribe to the Pressure Equipment Academy. Thanks for your time.